Stay with us now. American singer, songwriter, rapper, record producer, actor Trey Songz has returned to South Africa for 2 concerts only. One at the Mozambique Stadium in Durban and the other at Johannesburg's The Dome. That's tomorrow. Lebo Thinane caught up with the 30-year-old Nana hitmaker, and this is how that conversation went. Remember, Lebo is love-struck.
I know you got all dressed up for the club, waiting on it, come pick you up.
Trey, welcome to South Africa.
Thank you, baby. I appreciate it.
Why do you keep coming back to this country? What is it about this country that's so close to your heart?
Why wouldn't I come, man? There's so much love here. You know, when you come somewhere and it feels so good in your heart, and you see how they receive you, and you see how people treat one another. And, you know, one thing I think the internet has been able to do for us as people is give us a clear view on the world. You know, everything happens at the same time. You know, it's not that much of a delay. If something happens in New York, you get it here. And even still, some people don't understand the flow of life here. They don't understand what it is. They have this image in their mind of what it is. And you know, even myself, ignorant as I may be, 5 years ago, I didn't know what it looked like in Joburg. I didn't know what it looked like in Durban. I didn't know how high the buildings were. I didn't know how civilized. I didn't know how many black people in power. I didn't know any of these things. So when you get a taste of that and you fully experience it, and you know how beautiful it is, you got to come back. You know, especially when you're welcome the way you are. So I don't think I'll ever stop coming.
Take us back. Let's rewind this live tape.
Right.
Take us back to Virginia.
Wow.
What are some of the best memories that have come out of being raised by this powerful woman that we spoke about before?
Oh, man. Some of the best memories I have with this lady looking at me crazy right now. She used to ride me on the handlebars of her bike. When we were younger, I used to go with her to the laundromat. I go to her to school. You know, my grandmother worked 2 jobs, and well, everybody worked. You know, so it wasn't often that somebody else could watch me. So I would be everywhere with my mom. We were poor, but I didn't know it because there was so much love around. I had everything I needed. Even if she had to go to Salvation Army for my Christmas gifts or birthday gifts, I didn't know that. I've just felt the love from it, and hence the reason she's the chairperson of Angels with Heart, our foundation, where we give back to single parent homes. We give scholarships away to single parent mothers as well. Actually, we give one every year to a mother that's going to her same high school and to her same college. So growing up with my mother as a young boy and a single parent, it's very much molding. It shaped me. She gave me all the tools I needed, like I said, to be successful and to believe that I could be.
I read somewhere that you grew up as a shy young man. When did you?
I wasn't really shy though. I think that was a misprint. It actually makes me mad every time I hear it. I never was shy. I never really knew what I wanted to do with my life. You know, when I was young, I played basketball every day. I would draw all over my homework. I would get A's, but then I get -10 for drawing. So I was always into creative arts. I always loved basketball, but I think as a youngin', you know, coming from where I came from, mediocrity was so acceptable and so common that to dream and to think that you could be something outside of the norm was unreal. So, you know, my family gave me that backbone. You know, my mother didn't know if I could sing. My grandmother didn't know I could sing, but I said I was doing a talent show, and I looked up, and there's 30 people. You know, so my mom, and this is something I know now, but I didn't know then. My mother's like, we all got to go just in case you get booed. We don't know if you can sing. So that was day one, and it's been a road ever since.
Album number 6.
Yeah.
Why was this the best time? Why is it the best time for your fans to hear it?
Right.
And what makes it so different that you have a fan base that's been with you since album number 1?
Right. You know, trying to make sure that I continue to evolve and continue to include my fans in on the evolution that is me, not only musically or, you know, not trying to stay abreast on the charts or, you know, focusing mostly on monetary success, but focusing on what's true to me. focusing on not skyrocketing to the top the fastest, but what works for me. You know, my career didn't take off instantly. It wasn't my first single. It wasn't my second. It wasn't my third. It was hard work consistently that gave me what I have now. So I just attribute it all to being true to myself and making sure that my fans know that I'm true to myself and being true to them.
That was going to be my next question. How important are numbers to you, album sales to you, given how slowly you started? I think in the 1 year there was 200,000 copies in a year, where your competitors had been selling over more than that.
Right.
How important are numbers to you, and does that is an equivalent to success?
I think, excuse me, as a businessman, you know, you look at numbers, you look at the business model, and you look at success in the term of numbers and impressions, et cetera, et cetera. But as someone who's persevering, someone who never takes no for an answer, you know, numbers are only so important, you know, because you can have a #1 album or a #1 single and be forgotten about next year, next month, you know, if you don't continue to put the work in. So I think it's more so about consistency and, like I said, being true to yourself. A #1 album, a #1 single always feels great. But if I don't attain those numbers, I know my fans aren't going anywhere. It's always a blessing to be #1, but that's definitely not the most important thing in this music game.
What inspired the decision to repackage Reloaded?
Oh man, I had went around the world, going to Europe. I had actually you know, been not here in South Africa, but had been a couple, like we did Durban, the mobiles, and that was awesome. The first time I performed Nana down here was then. You know, I had only performed it like once or twice in a couple rehearsals, so that was awesome. And just having experienced the music with the world and went over to Europe and going so many places and people loving so many songs. I wanted to extend the life of the project. I wanted to give people another taste and actually give them a transitional phase of music, whereas though, you know, Slow Motion is a little more flirtatious, a little more bright than the rest of the album. If you listen to Trigger, it's kind of dark, it's kind of moody, it's kind of sensual and like it's low bass hitting. And with Slow Motion, About You, Loving You, Serve It Up, the records that I've reintroduced on this album, Reloaded, they just give you a more upbeat, lighter feel, transitioning into the 7th album, which will be Tremaine.